Good morning, welcome back to A to Z Gardening. I'm in here in the vegetable vine crop. So we're talking about cucumbers and zucchini and all your melons and your pumpkins, all that material. It likes warm, well-drained ground, but in the last few years, there's been a little bit of culprits attacking these plants. And we're gonna talk about that a little bit today. We got the burpless cucumber, that kind of seedless, longer style. But what we're having trouble with in the garden crops that vine in the last few years is a very strong presence of powdery mildew and the dreaded cucumber beetle. There's spotted style ones and striped ones on the back, and getting rid of those stops bacterial wilt. And you think, what is bacterial wilt? If you've had a cucumber plant in the last couple of years that seems to be thriving, doing well early, it's running, everything seems to be good, and then one arm or one branch just withers and dies, that's probably bacterial wilt. Bacterial wilt is carried by that small cucumber beetle, an elongated beetle that goes and bites the stem, and it infects it with bacterial wilt. So you can easily kind of help and stop and prevent that bacterial wilt from taking place by drenching the soil with this material, Captain Jack's. Its active ingredient is spinosad. It's a biological. It has no effect on the environment, no negative side effects to people or pets. So you can drench that at the young plant's base, so that kills all the larvae. So that gives you kind of a clean slate, if you will, to stop that young beetle from getting up and biting that plant. The other side of growing some of these vine crops is powdery mildew. Powdery mildew generally sets in during times with high humidity on the top of the plant and periods of hot or dry soil. So you want to make sure the plant is evenly moist, so don't water every evening. Water deep and thoroughly with a soaker hose so that the top doesn't get wet, but the moisture stays in that soil. That helps the plant defend itself. If you want to give a little added protection, or you're starting to see a little powdery mildew, start treating a little bit with copper fungicide. That's going to prevent the spread of that. It can't cure what you have. It just stops it in its tracks so that it doesn't spread any further. Even moisture can be improved by planting companion plants at the base of these plants. Use marigolds to keep those cucumber beetles warded off, or some lettuce, because the lettuce likes it nice and cool at the base, and it also helps to prevent that soil from drying out too quickly. If you have any more questions about your vining vegetables, feel free to contact any of us professionals here at Stan's.